Hello, just having my coffee. So good morning. It's Easter Saturday and it's isolation day 3000. Trust me, it feels like 3000 days when you're isolating with a husband. It's the longest time we've ever been together. That's not even a joke. We said this, didn't we?
Yeah.
We said this is the longest time we've actually spent time together.
Depressing.
In nearly 3 years. So no, it's all been good. We actually have been very productive. So today's video, I hope you're all well and I hope you're all safe, and please I hope you're staying at home. Yeah, and thank you so much to all the key workers and obviously the NHS as well. We all just need to do our bit to be able to have a free life again, as they say. But yeah, no, we've been quite productive in the sense that we're starting on our nursery, we've done our garden, we're going to be doing, we've got new garden furniture, so it's really quite a time for everyone to probably do odd jobs, and it's probably a time for everyone to just kind of, I know a lot of people have been doing a lot of reading. I myself have been reading all up, which we'll discuss further in the video because it's to do with, because I'm going to tell you all about what our birth plan is today. Let me just have a sip of this. These are the best mugs ever because they're friends. My brother got me them. We've got 4 of them. I make a really good coconut milk latte, iced of course. But yeah, I'm obsessed. Right, let me just pop that. I even thought to myself, do you know what, I'll put a bit of lippy on and do a bit of mascara just to feel good about myself, because I think sometimes, like, I'm 29 weeks pregnant now, and you do get days where you're like, oh, like that. And I didn't think it was true. I think I've said that on most of my videos. Like, I thought things where people are like, you're so tired at this point, and you're like, yeah, whatever, but no, you really are. But yeah, so let's get down to it. Let me get myself comfy. Another thing I've done while I'm in isolation is learn TikTok. I love it. And do you know, one of the reasons I've done TikTok, people might think it's just me taking the mick or whatever, but I did it and sent it to my mum. My mum's a key worker, she's a teacher, so honestly she's not had a day off in so long, and she's just amazing. And yeah, and I did the TikTok and sent it to her because I knew that she was meant to be coming up here with us and helping us with the nursery and things like that, so I wanted to cheer her up. She ended up sending it to her colleagues and her friends. One of her friends is actually in hospital with coronavirus, so it apparently it's just made everyone smile. And then I thought, do you know what, I'll keep doing this because it is hilarious. I've got a massive bump and I'm dancing like I don't have a bump, so so it's just a chance. And I've also had so many people from the NHS and who else are key workers who have gone, please, people who aren't key workers as well have also messaged me and said, you know, keep doing the TikTok because you're literally 15 seconds video is making us smile. So I'm really glad that that's made people smile. I don't even care if you're laughing at me when I'm doing it because I'm having fun. Tell you what though, when you have to learn a dance, I think it was the J-Lo one, oh my god, I was dripping with sweat. It took me about 2 hours to learn the dance because it was so fast paced, and I was like this doing it. But yeah, so
What were you like?
it was like this. That's the only input Alex will ever have. But yeah, no, so yeah, so we're coping really well in isolation. Alex, as you can tell, is at home. Alex is at home. We are isolating, we are staying safe, we're going for our walk with our dog every day. I work out at home anyway, so, but it's just nice. We've got so many places really close by where we can take the dog out and things, and I think a lot of people are scrolling on social media and things like that, and I think that's where it should be more positive now, because we are seeing it at any opportunity. There is a discussion of coronavirus, there is a news report of a coronavirus, and sometimes it can get draining and it can absorb your whole life. And I think what's important is to be able to remove yourself from that and actually be able to spread a bit of positivity regardless of what you're doing. Like what Joe Wicks is doing with his PA, which is amazing. And you know, I've seen different people that have actually come on and done motivational talks, and there's podcasts out there, and it's just really, it's making sure that at this time, you know, it's like you reevaluate quite a lot of things in your life as well when you're in isolation. And yeah, obviously being pregnant at this time, I've had a lot of people that are like, oh, I hope you're coping okay. The only thing I'm not, well, I am doing quite well with, but then at the same time, I think I'm just really good sometimes at being able to focus my mind on just being positive. But obviously, my family live really far away, as you all know, and April was the month we were going on our honeymoon. And again, we've had to cancel that, but it's just one of them. And then my mum and my brother were coming up, they were going to help us with the nursery. Obviously that can't happen now. The last time I saw my family was the beginning of February at our baby shower, so it's like 2 and a bit months since I've last seen them, which is the longest I've ever gone. No, it's not, that's a lie, Emily, you lived abroad. But it's a very long time, and especially when you are pregnant as well. None of my family have felt like the baby kick. Like baby girl is kicking now and she's very active, and it's just, it's great being able to tell my family like, oh, she kicked, but it must be really heartbreaking for them as well to be like, that's great, we still can't feel it. So the sooner that everybody actually pays attention to what is being said of staying at home, the sooner that everyone can go back to normality. In a dream world, I would like, I'm sure everyone else can relate, we would like to be back to normal by May, which would be the dream. And yeah, and I just think, I keep seeing people that are clearly just friends and just hanging out in the field, and it's just like, it's so frustrating because you're like, well, you've clearly just met up, I've watched you, and then they go their separate ways, and you're like, that's not self-isolating, that's not social distancing. So I think it's just frustrating. And when you see things like that, like, I personally don't go to the shop and wear masks and gloves because it has been advised by the government that it doesn't really make a difference. You're still spreading germs with the gloves and with the masks as well. I spoke to my midwife the other day and she was like, that's a mask that we could use. Like, so it's, you have to think about it that way, and think the gloves and the masks that you are wearing could be used for key workers, or could be used for NHS and things like that, people who are on the front line. We don't need them. You only nip in the shop for your milk and your essentials, like, and there's things in place now for supermarkets, so you don't have to worry about it. I mean, come on, I'm nearly, I'm nearly 7 months pregnant and I'm not doing it. The only thing that bothers me is I have had a few comments when I'm in a supermarket that say I shouldn't be out in my condition, and I do get tutted at, which just makes me laugh. Like, if the government said you're pregnant and you're vulnerable, and I received one of those letters and told me to stay at home, I would, but I didn't, because I am still fit and healthy. I'm pregnant, yeah, but we still need food. Like, I'm not gonna not get us food and things like that. So for the people who've tutted and told me in my condition, bora. But I think it's an opportunity, and so many people have come together and it's beautiful. I love watching those videos that, like, of Italy especially and things like that. So I hope that all my friends and all my family across the world are okay. I know I've spoken to everybody, but I hope everybody who watches this are doing well and you are staying safe and home. And that's the serious chat over, because I don't want this to be all about coronavirus, and I don't want this all to be about isolation. I never expected this to happen. Nobody did. It's a pandemic. Like, no one expected this to happen at all. And yeah, and especially when you're pregnant, and I know loads of people who are pregnant at the moment, some who are earlier on than me, and it's great because there's a community on Instagram, we're all coming together and people are seeking advice from one another, which is amazing, and I love it. And I love that, you know, like my antenatal classes have now been cancelled. It has been confirmed they've been cancelled, which is fine. It's just one of those things, and we are studying hypnobirthing. Tell you what, we're up to the science bit. That's why I've not filmed any of it, because whoa, the human body is amazing. A woman's body is incredible, like actually incredible. Like, our bodies are made to grow a baby and are made to do labour. So in my head, from studying hypnobirthing, I'm only halfway through the course at the moment with Alex, is that there is nothing to be scared of. And I've got that in my head, and I'm actually really looking forward to birth. And if you had asked me a year ago, what do you think of labour, I probably wouldn't have said that. And yeah, and we are enjoying it in the sense that we are learning new things. But once the science bit's out of it and we start fully practicing all the breathing and things like that, then I think that's when I'll be filming a little bit more of it. So that's part of our birth plan, in the sense that we are doing hypnobirthing. If you do decide that you want to do hypnobirthing, and in the current climate you are expecting, and you obviously can't go to a hypnobirthing course, I do mine online. It is the Positive Birth Company. I also bought their book as well, and it's £39 for this course. I was so shocked because we got quoted by a local company over £300. So £39 is the exact same. I'm really enjoying it. I am reading the book as well as we go, just because I like a good book. And plus, the more I know, the better. And also, I was recommended this by my sister-in-law, the Positive Birth book by my sister-in-law Annalise, and I'm yet to start this book. Obviously I don't like to read 2 books at once, so if you do want to go down that route and you do want to have your own research, then definitely these 2 books are great. There is another one by Ivor May, which is upstairs, which I haven't got at the moment, which is so interesting as well. That's an American based, but that I will put the links below to all of them, because they've really helped me to calm myself and my mind and make me look forward to birth. I think the reason I turned to hypnobirthing is because anyone who knows me knows anything big or anything like that has happened in my life, my mum's always been there and has always been the person to support me. But due to her living so far away, she's not going to be at the birth. If this pandemic's over, she still won't be at the birth, because unfortunately, due to her job, she can't just up and leave and go. So this is the first thing I'm doing, and probably the biggest thing I'm doing in my life, where essentially I'm not on my own because I have Alex, but essentially I'm doing it on my own without my mum. So I don't want people, I am a drama queen, and I don't want to look back and say, oh my god, you screamed the place down, oh my god, you were such a drama queen. Like, I want Alex and myself to be able to turn around and be like, she handled it like a boss. And that's kind of the frame of mind that I'm in, and I will handle it like a boss. Like, I am so determined, and I know things that I might have a plan, and everyone knows I love my plans and I love a schedule. But they sometimes do not go to plan, so I have to have an open mind about that, which I do, because I don't want people going, oh, I remember when I was like that in my first pregnancy and then this happened. Like, I am fully expecting it to not be fully perfect at the same time. So obviously hypnobirthing is going to be involved in our birth. I have always wanted a water birth, and before this COVID-19, we had started studying and we both decided, in fact it was Alex more so, that suggested we have a home birth. And it's not something I'd ever thought of, and it's not something that I ever thought that you could possibly do. You just think you have to go to a hospital for your first pregnancy. And the more research we did, and obviously with the course that we're doing, and the more research I did if I could do a water birth at home as well, and I was like, you know, I feel at peace in our house, and I feel at home in our house and comfortable, and we don't know the area very well and things like that, and we haven't really been to the hospital that much, etc, etc, that it just completely made sense for us to have a home water birth. And the more we looked into it and the more we realised, we were like, hold on, who said that it had to be in a hospital? Who said it had to be a water birth in a hospital? It's your birth, if you get all the okay for the health checks and the house checks and things like that, then yeah, have your birth how you want to have it. So we did tell our midwife, I hope, is as excited as us. We've ordered our birthing pool, that arrives at the end of May, and you have it for 6 weeks. And honestly, the woman from the company has been so lovely, and she said, like, I can't remember, is it the company I'm using, but she's so nice. And yeah, and then that arrives, and then they leave you all the leaflets. We have to do a dummy run, which obviously we will record because that will be hilarious. I can see exactly how that will go. Our midwife has booked us in. I am due at the end of June, so she has put there will be a home birth at the end of June. And the protocol of home birth, which I didn't know till the other day, is that they come and check your house between 31 and 35 weeks to make sure that everything's okay. I explained to her, like, we have a dog. Obviously her face was like, what? So I was like, don't worry, we've arranged a dog sitter who will come and collect the dog probably before, like, the week of, if I haven't already, but she's completely on standby. Absolutely adore Sally, so thank you so much. Honestly, you know, I've mentioned Sally in my previous videos, and without that lady we wouldn't be able to, I think especially to the home birth, we wouldn't be able to do a home birth without Sally. But I think as well, at the same time, if we were going to a hospital as well, the dog would be on its own and things like that. So I am so eternally grateful for my friend Sally, because she is just amazing. So hi Sally, and thank you. And yes, then dog will get collected, and they literally come and do checks. And it made me laugh, because when we got a dog from the RSPCA, they have to come to your house and do checks. And I was like, oh my god, I was like, it's like the RSPCA checks, just jokes. So yeah, and I'm even more relaxed about it. And I spoke to her, like, my midwife, and she said, and she did all the checks. So she's checked the size of my bump, and she's checked the size of baby and heartbeat, and she was like, right. So then after they've done that, they then put it onto a computer, and she has to check if I need another scan, just for safety purposes and things like that. And on the chart, I couldn't tell you what the name of the chart is, it is perfect. I don't need it, no more scans are needed, and she is due to arrive on time, which is brilliant, because I love a schedule, and the fact that my daughter is following in my footsteps, that's great. But I am very aware that, you know, anything could happen. My waters could go a few days before, or I could be late, or something could happen while we're at home when I'm giving birth and I have to go to the hospital. And then the big thing is, we have been made aware that, you know, with the pandemic, etc., that it's booked in for now, but things are constantly changing. So she put my mind at ease in the sense that if we did have to go to hospital and we did have a hospital birth, is that we would still be able to have a water birth. We'd still have, as she said, as my midwife said, we'd still have access to all those facilities, just me and Alex. Alex would be able to be my birthing partner. Obviously, I don't want to do it on my own. And the main thing about hypnobirthing is how actively involved your partner is, which is just so crucial for me personally and for Alex. And also, I forgot what I was going to say. So we'd get access to all areas. And then my biggest thing was, could I still involve hypnobirthing in it? Because when I've spoken to some people up here, they have no clue about hypnobirthing, or they've heard about it and thought it's like a hippie thing. And that's one of the reasons I didn't want to go into hospital, because I didn't want to be judged for the choices of how I had my birth, because I've heard such different stories, not just from up here but in general, and I think that's what makes you slightly nervous. And she was so reassuring. She was like, oh my gosh, no, it's so popular, like, don't panic. I was like, I don't want to walk in with my essential oils and they'll be like, oh god, we got another hippie. Like, I want to be able to have the essential oils that I want and be able to make it feel homely if we do, at last resort, have to go to, oh, excuse me, excuse me, if we do have to go to a hospital. But like I said to her, that is last resort, and if obviously we're still in a pandemic, and it's not even if we're still in a pandemic, that's total lies, it's if there isn't enough staff to be able to cover a home birth. Luckily with our midwife, she is just a well, she's not just a midwife, but a lot of midwives, which I wasn't aware about this, study to be a nurse and then study to be a midwife. So she's just gone straight into midwifery. So it kind of puts my mind at ease that, oh well, you will be here, so that's fine. But I'm just so excited. So going forwards, we're still going to continue hypnobirthing. We'll show you guys little snippets of that. It's not that exciting when you're studying it, in the sense that it is literally just a person on a screen and you're studying it and things like that, but we are just up to the science bit at the moment and our minds are boggled. We are starting the nursery on Monday, so that's going to be my next video about how the progression of the nursery gets on. We are painting on Monday and then slowly doing it next week, so I'll be recording things each day. And obviously I'm very passionate about the reusable nappy side of things, so that will be another video that I'd love to share with you guys. Then the arrival of the birthing pool, which will just be hysterical. Yeah, so there's so much that's happening in a world of uncertainty, which is pretty much what the world is, isn't it, at the moment? We're all so uncertain of what the next steps is. I am just so glad I'm so grateful that there is still deliveries happening and that we aren't stuck where we can't get bottles or things like that. So no, but I just wanted to give you guys a little update. And obviously in isolation and things like that, we can't really do much things outside anymore at present. But yeah, it's just positive thoughts, positive minds, and that is our birth, an at-home water birth, and I cannot wait. And the best thing is, the next step is choosing the scents that you want in your house when you give birth and things like that. So I'm so excited that we are able to take you on this journey, able to hopefully show you snippets of the birth, because I have a project in place at the moment which will all be revealed. But thank you very much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and I will love you all forever. And also follow me on Instagram, and the links will all be below for everything that you want to know about hypnobirthing in the books and the course. And also I will link the birthing pool too, so that you guys could have a nosy too if you're interested in a home birth. So yeah, oh, I feel like that was like kind of serious, kind of not. Also, before anyone, I have had messages about this top, it's misguided. I'm absolutely obsessed with it as well. Just but yeah, so no, thank you so much.